Hello, welcome back to Move Ahead with Dalia. On today's show, my guest is Jennie Fronczak. She is the Executive Director of Chicago Housing Trust. Hi, Jennie.
Hi, Dalia.
Thanks for being here. Let's have you talk a little bit about Chicago Housing Trust, their mission, and some of their history.
Absolutely. And thanks so much for having me. It's lovely to be hosted and grateful to be a part of this vision that you have.
Thank you.
So I am rolling up on my third year here at the Chicago Housing Trust. We are a 501c3 nonprofit incubated in the Department of Housing in the city of Chicago. And essentially we have two directives. The first is to expand access to home ownership for working households. And the second is to preserve long-term affordability, particularly in communities facing the highest displacement pressures.
Okay, great. So you mentioned that you've been with them for 3 years now. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit about your journey to the organization?
Sure. I honestly initially started out as an educator, loved working with kids, all itty bitties all the way through adolescence. Yeah. And then in college, some friends worked at Lydia Home. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
I have heard of
There
Lydia
you go.
Home.
Yeah. And one of them happened to be the director of the preschool. Somebody was on maternity leave. She asked if I could fill in, and I just loved it. It was wonderful.
Aww.
And so then from there, went to work with displaced children in Bogota, Colombia, for about 6 years. And while I was there, I launched a school in the medical clinic. And what blew me away is, once or every other week, we'd have a visitation, and about a third of the kids there would have relatives show up, maybe parents, aunts, uncles, somebody, was actively loving these children, yet unable to care for them. And I was like, golly, I see so many resources available to support the children, as there should be. But I was like, what are we as a community doing to support families to ensure they can keep their families together, care for kids? Family separation is so real. It's impacted my life and so many others in many different ways. And then when I could settle down and really think about it, I was like, wow, if people had homes, like a stable home, that's really the center of everything. It just makes life work. Yes. Connects you to schools, jobs, parks, transit, houses of worship, grocery stores, all of the things. And while everything is really important, if you don't have a home, no matter how much work you put into whatever else, nothing really holds together. Okay. So I was like, I got to figure out this home situation. And since then, I came back and initially was with Center for Changing Lives, formerly Humboldt Park Social Services.
Yes.
Right. And at that time, they were working on emergency housing for men and transitional housing for families. And they also did, financial capability work and whatnot. And then from there, wound up at Lucha, which is, I believe, where I met you.
Yes, that's where we met.
Yeah, I so appreciate all of the coaching and education you did with the first-time homebuyers there.
Thank you.
And then I'm blessed to be a part of your passion project here today. And while I was at Lucha, I also had a passion project, which was to, I was spearheading the efforts to launch the Here to Stay Community Land Trust, which is a collective ownership model for generating affordable housing, affordable home ownership opportunities, really, in a collective manner, right? In a way that preserves affordability over generations, particularly in a place where the cost of living is going through the roof, right?
Yes, it is.
Logan Square, Hermosa, Humboldt Park. And so doing that, I was reaching out to many different funders, building partnerships with a bunch of different key partners. And one thing I would hear back is well, doesn't the city already have a community land trust? What are you all doing here? And people were like, what? So then I knocked on the door at the city a few times and was like, hey, we see that you have this initiative, which is the Housing Trust Affordable Homeownership and Housing Program, and that there's 6 pilot geographies, and that overlaps with where we're working. How about we work together on this? And the city was like, what does that even look like?
Really?
Yeah. And long story short, eventually, they asked if I'd come help them figure it out. So now now I'm on the inside and I'm able to support initiatives like Here to Stay and other community groups, be able to launch their, grassroots collective ownership models, while also providing opportunities for folks all throughout the cities in neighborhoods that might, be really feeling that heat, but not have the social infrastructure on the ground to do like a true grassroots model on their own.
Well, I can see why they took you in. That story to where you had to reach out to the city and help them realize, right, that there needed to be some more support in this program. That's incredible. Great work. Thank you, Jennie.
Thanks for being a part of it. You've always been on the team.
Thank you. So let's talk about, first of all, I want to mention the website, chicagohousingtrust.org, which has a lot of great information, specifically the homes for sale, some homeowner resources that I'd love for you to talk about, the partners, and the events that are coming up. But before that, let's talk about the programs. What would you like to share about the programs that come through this organization?
Absolutely. Primarily, we are tethered to the city's inclusionary housing program, known as the ARO, or Affordable Requirements Ordinance. So when developers build, a residential development that's either, over 10 units or requires public financing, public land, or rezoning, the city obligates them to build a certain percentage that is affordable.
Okay.
And should those units be home ownership units, they're then designated for our program. So our inventory is mostly new construction in areas that have the most cranes, because developers self-select where they want to build the units, and ours are required to be proximate to those, if not in the same building. So yeah, they're really swanky. I feel like we're the best kept secret in the city.
Yes.
And
yes.
And we've really done a 180 on marketing, so that we ensure that folks from the communities, well, both sides of the coin, right? Folks from those communities that are seeing so much displacement from catalytic investment or gentrification are have a first look and the longest runway to be able to apply for one of these units. And at the same time, we want to connect with folks who historically have been confined to living within red lines and not been able to access communities that are flush with amenities and, have all the opportunities and access we all deserve, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're working on marketing and building up our community partnerships. So that's definitely the bread and butter of our portfolio. And those units tend to be priced affordable for households earning up to 100% of the area median income. And then we also occasionally get other units from other programs that might be affordable, more deeply affordable to households earning up to 80% of the area median income. And occasionally, we're right now, we've got a unit at 3331 West Lemoyne that's priced for households earning up to 120. Priced affordable for households earning up to 120, and then our income eligibility is typically about 20 AMI points higher. So we're able to serve a range of households that might be teachers or firefighters, professionals in some range, or maybe a household with two earners that are working class or what have you. To be able to purchase their first home, start building equity, and get that stability that you want to be able to raise your kids or support aging parents or just be connected and thriving.
Yeah, and I know from my experience, and I've only had a little bit of experience with this organization, back a couple of years ago. So there was a different name, right? What was the name of Chicago Housing Trust before?
Yes, we did rebrand.
Okay.
We are, and our legal name still is Chicago Community Land Trust.
Okay.
However, for the aforementioned reasons, our model is not exactly a true community land trust, and we were creating confusion for many different people. Kind of be like me walking around like Jennie Fronczak, PhD. I did not earn the PhD, so we cannot be a CLT. Therefore, we switched the name from CLT to Chicago Housing Trust to lessen that confusion.
Yes, and when I looked online and I said, oh, so it is the same company, because I had a client who purchased a home a couple of years ago, Angela Brown, and she did buy a new construction in East Garfield Park.
She did.
And I looked for a good 6 months. I helped her find homes and put offers in on homes. And what Angela wanted, we couldn't find until we ran into this program. And Roberta, last name? Cosi. Roberta Cosi, at the time, was assisting Angela with the lending part of her home buying process, and was extremely helpful. And luckily, it was a challenge because Angela did have a few jobs and had a lot of documentation to submit. But she did buy the home. She's still in the home, her and her family, and I'm so happy for her because, like I said, what she was looking for, she couldn't find until we ran into this program and the property that she purchased. So very, very important that I bring up Roberta's name because she was an excellent resource and really did go above and beyond to help Angela with the lending part of the process.
Roberta is absolutely the heart of our organization and the face of our organization. She's the one who spends the most time engaging with prospective applicants as they go through the home buying process, and she has a wealth of knowledge. When she was in high school, she began volunteering at NHS. I'm sure you're super familiar with. And eventually, I think she was an administrative assistant there for a minute and slowly worked her way up the ladder. And then she was their loan officer for countless years. And we are so blessed to have her on our staff now. She just has a wealth of history, experience, and so much passion and compassion. So you're in good hands with Roberta.
I'm so glad that Angela went through that with her. And you mentioned that there's a program orientation. Can you talk about that?
Yes. The little red button on our homepage is where anyone is able to register for a program orientation. Roberta hosts them twice a month, typically Thursday evenings at about 5 o'clock. If you log on early at 4:45, she'll give you a preview. You'll get the inside tea on all of our units that are available and those that are coming soon that might not be on the website yet because we're a team of two and it takes me a minute to update our website. So anyway, and then at 5 o'clock, Roberta will start walking folks through the whole program, how the model works, what you can expect, what the eligibility requirements are, and then entertain any questions.
Okay, wonderful. Let's talk a little bit about the homeowner resources. I know there was this tax benefit for homeowners that purchase the homes through this program.
Yeah, the homeowner resources tab on our website is for folks like Angela who purchased one of our homes. Maybe they want to, refinance or put it up for resale or have questions with property taxes, so they can go there and find resources like that. And then the way our model works, there's an upfront subsidy, if you will, and it's the differential between the full market value of the unit, what it would sell for on the market, which often is far more than our buyers could afford, and then that affordable contract price that it's listed for, and that money will... So buyers, get advantage of that massive discount when they purchase the unit. And then during their tenure as a homeowner in the unit, the assessor's office, the Cook County Assessor's Office, will assess our units according to the affordable value. So homeowners are not paying taxes on appreciation they would never realize. So folks kind of get that savings, each month. It's a smaller amount pulled out of your escrow than you would be if you purchased the unit next door, which is on the full market value.
Okay. And what are some of the restrictions that potential home buyers would have if they're interested in buying a home through the program?
Sure. So anyone goes through the same program. And then so our buyers, in exchange for getting that upfront subsidy and then that savings each month on your property taxes, they agree to pay it forward essentially to the next home buyer so that family can also purchase their first home affordably on the market. And what that looks like is, again, that upfront subsidy, instead of folks taking that with them when they put the unit up for sale. They leave it in the unit and they take with them all the equity they built, everything, every bit of their mortgage that they paid down, plus a share of the appreciation, but not that full appreciation. And that's the magic that makes it possible for the next household to be able to purchase that same unit affordably, so that, we can keep the unit affordable. And admittedly, like, this model would be less useful in markets that are already affordable, let's say, but we're concentrated, again, wherever you see the most cranes in the cities, where we have the most units, and that those are generally very cost prohibitive places. So it's really important that we do have infrastructure in place to ensure that these communities remain accessible to working families.
Yes. Well, I live in Avondale, and I've seen in the last 20-something years the difference in the values and the gentrification that has come to that neighborhood and the neighborhoods around it. So I can totally understand why this is a critical program for affordable housing for the community. There were a couple of other things on the website. So there was the homeowner resources regarding the taxes that you mentioned, right? And then, we want to talk about that.
Pop up. It's on every page.
And you mentioned the resale information. Actually, let's talk about that trolley. Tell me about that event that's coming up.
Yeah, so twice a year we host a trolley tour. It's free to prospective home buyers that, and even if you're not ready today to buy a home, if you're thinking about getting ready but feel like it's not possible for you, like, this is our gift to prospective home buyers that have concerns or, just aren't sure. We want to let you be able to walk through our units, meet some of our existing homeowners, hear their stories, learn how our program works. We bring some of our lending partners with us, and a number of our housing counselors are on the trolleys too, so we can answer questions. And then obviously you get to walk through our available units. We can never squeeze all of the available units on a trolley tour. We could do a trolley week maybe, but so we'll pick a particular geography based on where most of our units are concentrated. So this Saturday, October 21st, we're going to host folks, and we'll be staging at the Humboldt Park Boathouse, so right on Sacramento, 1440 North Sacramento. It starts, registration opens at 9:30. The trolleys will take off at 10, and then we'll be back no later than 1 o'clock. And folks can, we've got a lot of fun stuff on the tour. I just found out about 6 more units in Humboldt Park, 2-bedroom condos that will be on there as well. So I'm going to get that on the website very soon.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. So they can go onto the website and they could register for the event.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I want to go.
We'd love to have you.
I want to see what's going on there. Sounds like fun. And I know that you have a lot of partners that are helping you, as you mentioned.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Is there anyone in particular you'd like to mention on the partnerships?
Wintrust Bank and Old National are our sponsors for the Fall Trolley Tour.
Oh,
absolutely
wonderful.
Indispensable without them. And then our housing counseling agencies show up as well. And we have many partners who help us get this work done. These 2 rows right here are the participating lenders, so folks can work with any of these.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the application process.
Yes.
Just kind of like a quick rundown. Of course, they need to get pre-approved, and they can reach out to the lenders. You're going to give them a list, right?
Yes, absolutely. On our homepage, you can click the Apply Now button. It's all written out for you. There's basically 4 things that need to happen. The first are a set of trainings. So we do that 1-hour program orientation that we just spoke about.
Yes.
And then we require applicants to complete the pre-purchase training with a HUD certified housing counseling agency. And we've got links on the application page, so you can find all the nonprofits that provide that for free. So it's that pre-purchase workshop and a one-on-one counseling session. And then depending on the unit they're interested in, if it has a homeowners association, either a condo or a townhome, that would have that monthly association fee, we require that they do the condo training, and they can do that immediately following our program orientation on the same Zoom line.
Well, I love that.
Because make it convenient.
Yeah, no, I love that you have for the condos that there's special condo training because there are so many things involved in owning a condo that it has nothing to do with owning a home, a house. So I love that that's a separate training.
Oh, yeah. We want to ensure everyone is set up for success.
Yes.
So you can sustain the home. I mean, it's a big deal to be able to purchase the home, but it's even a bigger deal to keep it in tip-top condition for as long as you want to be there. Yeah, so we have that. And then we do have some 2-unit buildings available. So if anyone selects a 2-unit building, then there's a landlord training as well that they can.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Okay. Wow.
All the same reasons.
Wow. Yes.
So there's the trainings, and then there's a little bit of paperwork. We have a form that you fill out. Right now, very soon, it will be an online application process. Right now, it's a PDF that you download. There's a couple affidavits. Fill those out, notarize them. And then to your point after that, it's really your financials. Get your pre-approval from one of these participating lenders. Mm-hmm. And then, we do need to verify that folks are income eligible, so we'll need bank statements and pay stubs and tax returns.
Just like a normal
lender.
Right. Mm-hmm. The normal documents for getting your pre-approval.
Yeah, so pretty much whatever you send to the lender, we'll need that too.
Okay, so both, they have to send it to both. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And if folks, some folks are super digital, others, may not use computers every day. And so if the applicant prefers, we can just work with the lender directly and ask them to forward whatever they submitted.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. I believe that one of the restrictions, but I don't know if it's really a restriction or not, is that the person buying the home buyer, has to live in the home. They can't rent it out, right?
Yeah, there are eligibility requirements. That is one of them. The first is that you need to intend to live within the home. And we do want it to be your primary residence. We often on our program orientations, people are like, I'm going to buy this home. I'm going to flip it. I got 4 more in the neighborhood. And we're like, good for you. Live your best life. And this is not the program for that. Like, teach me your ways and please don't submit an application.
Right.
So we're here to help people find homes. So it needs to be your primary place of residence. Folks are not able to own or have an interest in any other residential property when they purchase one of our units. Okay. So if you own something while you apply, that's fine. But should you be deemed eligible, make an offer, and you would need to sell any other residential properties that you own prior to close. Because again, we want to make sure everybody has a home. Right. I started off as an educator. Preschool's my favorite. Like, everybody gets 1 cookie before anybody gets 2. Like, that's what we're about. So, otherwise, golly, what else? Live in the home, be income eligible, and real estate. Oh, also, folks may not have any outstanding debt with the city since we are municipally controlled.
Okay. Yeah.
So parking tickets, water bills, all those need to be paid before you close.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, those are very important. But really, the one that I thought was super important in terms of the eligibility was that people need to know that if they buy, they have to live there and they have to stay there. They can't buy, live there for a few years and move on to another one. If they leave, don't they have to sell it?
Right. Yeah, you can't rent it out. Yeah. Okay. There's no minimum tenure requirement. Like, you don't have to live in the home 5, 10. It doesn't matter how long or short you stay in the home. But when you are ready to put it up for resale, that homeowner resources tab, it has the instructions for what you would do. There's a form you fill out, you send it to me, and then we'll commission an appraisal to see what your home is valued now. That'll help us determine the share of appreciation the homeowner earns and to set that list price so that the homeowner can walk away with all their equity plus that share of appreciation, and ensure that it also remains affordable so that the homeowner can pay the opportunity forward to the next household.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very, very important program. Yeah, I'm so glad you're on the show today to talk about this, because this is like a hidden secret.
I know.
I think you mentioned that in the beginning. And we need to let people know that these are available. Like, how many affordable housing homes are available? I mean, are there that many, and are they all over the city?
Yeah. We just had so many closings. I used to know those numbers, and we just had a rush of closings.
Okay.
I think we've got like 180 owner-occupied units around there right now, and available. I think it was close to like 47 units right now. And then we're gonna have these other 6 are coming. Those will be ready this fall. They'll be on the trolley tour, right? So, I mean, if you want to see it, come Saturday,
Yes.
October 21st,
And
trolley tour.
Those 6 are in Humboldt Park, you
Those
said.
are in Humboldt Park. We have a lot available in East Garfield Park. We've got townhomes there. I think we may have just closed our last single family there. I have a single family available in Humboldt Park, 1439, North Springfield. I have a 2-flat in Woodlawn. Later this year, maybe at the latest Q1 next year, I'll have 2 single family homes in Woodlawn, 3 bedroom, 2 stories. The developer told me January, so I am interpreting that as April. That we'll have 19 units at Jackson and Western, condos, 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. So stuff is always coming because, again, we're tethered to the city's inclusionary housing ordinance. Also, FYI, we are compatible with CHA's Choose to Own program. So if there are any Section 8 renters out there that want to purchase their home, definitely come check out our units. We work very well with CHA. We've got 3 Section 8 buyers into their first homes.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I've worked with the Choose to Own program for many, many years.
Yeah.
And I was introduced to it through the Lucha program.
Hey.
So very, very important. And I've helped several Choose to Own applicants buy their first home. What a rewarding moment at a closing, because so many people don't understand the challenges that are involved with this, with obtaining homes, right? Especially through CHA. What's the word I'm looking for? There's just a lot of difficulty there when it comes to the income. So the Choose to Own program is really excellent, and I am hoping to have someone from their organization come onto the podcast and talk about that. About that program for purchasing homes, because it is incredible program.
And right now, CHA also has $20,000 in down payment assistance available for folks who are not Section 8 residents. I mean, you can also access that $20K if you are, but then you forego the Choose to Own benefits.
Oh, okay.
So it's either or if you're a Section 8 resident. If you're not a Section 8 resident, but you're at 80% AMI or below, there is $20,000 available for down payment assistance. And I forget how many buyers we've had that have also been able to take advantage of that too. So CHA is really making strides towards home ownership, and it's been great to see them move in that direction.
Yeah, nice. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this podcast, is because I know that there are there's a lot of assistance out there. There's a lot of programs for people to access to help give them that lift, whether it is to buy a home or not, but just in general, whether it's they want to rent somewhere else. Lots of programs. We just want to get the word out.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of covered a lot. Is there anything that we may have missed that you would like to mention? We talked about the trolley tour, the partners, the eligibility requirements, and applying online. Anything else that you can think of?
Yeah, I'd say what's coming next. Hang in there. We'll have online applications open soon.
Okay.
Our board meetings are all publicly accessible. If anybody wants to meet our phenomenal board of directors or see how decisions are made. We do have a preservation initiative as well, which is how we partner with community land trusts such as Here to Stay or other local organizations. That's 6 pilot areas: Humboldt Park, Hermosa, Pilsen, Little Village, East Garfield Park, and Woodlawn. So we're able to acquire and rehab there. So we're trying to preserve that affordable stock. often those mom and pop owned buildings that life happens and mom and pop can't hold on to them. And so either what often happens is some developer shows up with cash, flips it to luxury housing, and like the cycle continues. So when we're able to find those units and preserve them as affordable, we just started doing that recently. So that's on the works. And then we are also administering another pilot in Pilsen and Logan Square with demolition surcharge fees and or demolition surcharge revenue. Those pilots are designed to essentially prevent, but discourage developers from demolishing, right, and deconverting, so that we can again retain that naturally occurring affordable housing stock of 1 to 4 units in neighborhoods facing high displacement pressure. And so in those pilots, we're able to partner with community organizations on the ground and to get them dollars to help them with their shovel-ready initiatives to create and preserve affordable housing.
Yeah, and again, at the end of the day, it's about affordable housing.
Yes, every day. The beginning of the day, the middle of the day, all day.
All day. All day.
All day.
Yeah, this is great. ChicagoHousingTrust.org is where people can register for the trolley tour.
Yes.
And find out more, even apply online, right?
Absolutely.
And thank you, Jennie.
Thank you, Dalia.
Yeah, this was great. I learned a lot. Even though I have had a client already go through the program, there's so much more that you're involved in, so much important work for the community. So to Roberta and to you and to the staff and the board and the partners, thank you very much for helping us keep the properties in our communities affordable.
Yeah.
Very important.
Thank you, Dalia, for championing our efforts and those of our community partners and keeping us all connected and helping us get the word out. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you so much for listening today. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe so you can keep up with my latest episodes. You can find me on all social media platforms at Dalia the Realtor. To reach me directly, call me at 773-879-4855. I'll see you on the next episode. Make it a great day.